Hi guys, so as promised I am back at a time that is not midnight to do a little crafting with some of these new Diamond Press items. Diamond Press did send these items free of charge for my review and all opinions are my own. And what I have here are some of the items that they're going to have or are having on their Teal Tuesday. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I'll have the code in the description box, but if you use the code TEAL50 you will get 50% off your order, free shipping over $35, and free gifts at different levels of 60, 80, and 100. That's after the discount. So, you know, one of them being a grab bag where they'll just include something in your order with the $60 order. With the $80 order, you'll get these 3 dies or something very similar. And I kind of already spoke about these in the last video. And over 100, you get, basically at every level, you'll get this plus the next level. So at the 80, you'll get something from the grab bag. You get your dies. And then at 100, you'll get all 3, and including this really cute little truck set that I'm going to use right now to make like a holiday themed card. So let's just get to it. I already cut down some things that I think I'm going to start with. So I have a card base here, and I cut it at lengthwise, so I'm not going to use it like this in a portrait mode. I'm still going to use it landscape. I just thought something fun, something different that we don't normally always do. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. I have a little green mat. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this green mat, but this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to do some stamping on some stamping paper. Okay, so I'll address this in just a minute because I do want to use some of the washi, but I want to know how big this truck ends up being before I put down any washi. And again, this is just stamping paper. I am going to fussy cut this, so for now, it doesn't really matter where it gets stamped on the paper. And I am going to use a hybrid ink, but use whatever ink you like. I am going to use Diamond Press markers to color this in, using them like watercolors. So you want an ink if you're going to do something similar that doesn't smear with water, right? So squid ink, Nuvo hybrid ink, those you can use with alcohol ink or water. But if you want a specific ink specifically for water or for alcohol ink, then just make sure you're using the proper ink. So I'm going to stamp him, and then I'll use the stamp in the little tree. I was debating stamping it in green, the tree, but I think I'll still stamp it in black just so it's all the same, and then I'll color it in. Gorgeous. I probably didn't have to press it down as much as I did, but since I didn't have my stamping mat underneath, I wanted to make sure we were going to get a good impression. And I'm going to stamp this guy, and again, I'm just eyeballing this, but I mean, you can kind of see where you're at. Obviously right now I'm just showing you something, but I'm going to move it back a little bit. Ooh, I put my tree right on the edge. So that's one thing I didn't think about, but it worked out. Look at that. So let's get him going. And it'll be easier too to see his edges because he'll have the black ink on there. Okay, let's pay attention. Right there. Very easy to see through. Obviously it's a clear stamp, but just to line it up how you want. And I'm going to let that just dry for a second, even though I don't normally have to. I think if I rub this, it's going to dry already. It's going to be dry. But I'll be right back. I'll select the markers that I want to use from this set here, and we'll start coloring it in. Okay. Let me put some of these things to the side here. And I have my markers. I said I would select them, but I didn't select them, but I know which ones I want. I want to use the red and basically the greens. Let me see what color green this one is. Yeah, maybe we'll use both of those. That's a good sample because I wanted to see. Oh, okay, good. I haven't done this technique with these markers in a while. I wasn't sure if I could drag out the color as easily or if I needed to put it on something like this and then grab it from there. I might have to do that. A lot of these water-based markers, it depends on how quickly you work with them that you can spread the color out. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the color over here and then I'll go over here. Alright, let's start with our green tree. And you see I'm just putting down a lot of color. If you want to just come in here and do that, that's fine. Just around these areas, what I like to do is keep it darker there. So if I just lay down some color, that's already kind of helping me out in that base area. Maybe here. And maybe bring in some of this one too. Just to add a little something else. And I have this water brush. I'm not squeezing it. I'm just letting the water that's on there help me out. I'm just going to bring that in. And to get my shading and stuff, what I usually do is I start in where I think it would be darker normally, and then go to where it will be lighter. So that way the color is already kind of dissipating by the time you get there. And more of this guy. I'll do the exact same thing with the little red truck. And that's about it. And if you want to come back and add more layers, I would let it dry and then come in and add more color. And with the red truck, I'm going to do the exact same thing, just, oopsie. Take that. Actually, let me get a little more color in here. And I'll just take the red, and I'm probably going to make the whole thing red, so just sparing the little bumper and fender type thing, but other than that, just going to take this. Like I said, I always put the most color where I think it would have shadow, and then bring it down from there. You can see I'm doing segments at a time because the red's a little harder to control. You don't want to have big blotches of it and then to nothing. So I start again in the darker where I think the shadow would be and bring it down from there. And trying to keep that round, so I'm kind of going around this way, just so it gives the illusion of roundness and shininess. Okay. Pretty quick. I guess I'll do this bottom piece. Sometimes that's metal, right? But I'll go ahead and just color it in. Okay, and I'll use black, but very lightly. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm just gonna fussy cut all around it with some scissors, and I will be right back. So fussy cutting doesn't take too long, and my tip is always to keep your scissors straight and move what you're cutting, and always trim away the most excess, you know, so that way you don't have to deal with a whole huge piece of paper while you're cutting. So I usually start off by cutting away anything that's super extra. And here we go. A little more this way. I'm going to let that set up for just a second. In the meantime, I'm going to open up this washi, so I'll spare you the crinkling of the plastic. I'll open this up and I'll be right back. So I'm just eyeballing where this might go. And I just realized I stuck this down, so what I'm going to do is cut my washi with scissors, but I do like to have a rough edge, so what I'm going to do is rip that off. And then over here, as far out as I would like that to be. I'm going to use scissors to cut it straight up and down, hopefully. And I'm just going to washi this up. Just put a bunch of strips. Normally, I wouldn't have stuck this down yet. I would put the washi on this paper and then trim it off the side so it's nice and straight. But since I did my own thing, what I'm going to do is eyeball it every time. That one had a direction, this one doesn't, so what I'll do is I'll take the end of this one first. Rip it off. And we're just going to have some fun with washi, and I'm just going to build this up. Okay, so I'm going to continue just building it up however I think it'll look cute. And maybe this one here. Well, you know what? I'll put another one of this. Without this guy. Trying to see if I have enough washi here. Let's see. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna put this little guy here. And let me think about what I want to do in this top corner as far as like a sentiment, and I'll be right back. I think I'm gonna use this set Merry and Bright Nesting Stampin' Dies. And I'm going to use this one with the little fur pieces sticking out there. And what I'll do is I'll run this through together through the screen. I'll run it through my marquee. These are smaller. I believe you can probably get this through the regular diamond press. So I'll mat them together at the same time, but I'll center this a little bit nicer. Run that together, and then I'll run through just the outer ring out of some black so that the black pops through that, okay? And I'll be back. So pretty and delicate. Oh my goodness. Be very careful. Also, I have the tape on here, so that's what's holding it back. There we go. Be super delicate, super careful with that. Okay, I'm just going to glue these two together. And before I do that, let me stamp the sentiment here. Oh, it's so cute, it's so tiny. It says Merry Merry Christmas. And just grab some ink here. Gorgeous. Okay, I'll stick those together and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I have this, and then I was like you, it blends very well with my background. So I cut another black one out that I'm going to drop shadow, just like that, to give a little bit of a pop. So I like that. And then I have some red twine that'll help me just add a little more color to this. I think it'll look cute. So we have that. And I have a little red twine here. You can put this on here however you like. I'm just going to double it over and push it from back to front and double it over through here. Just add another little pop of color. Then we have our little truck. So I think I'm going to pop this guy up for sure. Whatever dimensionals you like to use. It's just a fun quick card using some of the freebies and things that Diamond Press is offering today. So make sure to check that out. Thank you so much, Diamond Press, for sending these items for my review. And I'm making this one much higher than these guys. I'm still going to pop this guy up a little bit, but not as high. I might fiddle with this a little bit, but there we are. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, it's on mydiamondpress.com, and use the code TEAL50, TEAL50 for 50% off your order. And all the particulars are there on their site, so you can have more information on exactly all the fun things that are going on there today. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.